Everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Let's Play of Hearts of Iron 4. We actually have taken a reset because playing through as what was a communist into humanity. That just really isn't good, especially if the war kicks off early, because the only ally you really get is pretty much Spain. I don't know who else you can possibly get as a faction ally doing that method, but it's really tough and just really didn't pan out very well when we were running it. So we decided to call it back, reset. This time I'm going to go more status quo and go with Britain to offer France a little more protection. Just seems to be a little bit better of a way to go than the Versailles and going communist. So we're going to change it up. Also, I could arguably go to woo France or to woo Germany or Italy if I really wanted to, but I feel I want to do things the standard way, see how it plays out. We actually also switched Zaro over to Japan real quick because as Germany, it put him in a bad spot where being the strongest player of the four of us, it allowed him to really dominate all of us really quick, whereas Japan allows him to have a lot more interesting maneuvers, and all four of us have different interests in different zones against each other. So that's pretty much that introduction. I'm going to set stuff up. Zara, if you want to talk through Japan real quick, because I know it's different.
Yeah, sure. Japan gets a lot of different settings than Germany just because of where it is. So I actually, in Germany, could completely ignore the Kriegsmarine for most of the game and be okay. Where I'm going to have to focus pretty heavily on their navy out here. Especially if I want to hit Disgruntled with a surprise attack.
Yeah.
And one change in the game, there will be no Atlantic fleet this game. It will be all in the Pacific, except maybe some subs and destroyers.
Just a few things to help if needed, basically, is what's going on there.
Japan also comes with very large, heavy divisions to begin with. All their divisions have, most of them have 12 brigades in them. In 4 lines. Three in each line and 4 lines, so you get a lot more manpower requirements.
So basically it's going to be an interesting show to see exactly what comes out of the Japan / Soviet Union / United States / France having to get into it with owning Siam. See what all happens. And yeah, I mean we'll play it out. Things will be different, it'll be interesting, we'll make it work. And in the meantime, we're all just setting up all our pre-setup stuff. I mean, obviously it's going to be a lot of the same exact sort of thing. You all pretty much start the exact same way. I don't think there's much else you can do that is as effective as those first 3 starting things. From there, you could probably change it up, but in the meantime, that's kind of the way you want to go. Alright, so I need to put basic divisions into training, so we'll just go with, train me some infantry, set their location in Lorraine, train up some more infantry, set their location in the Alps.
There's also the fact that we've played a little bit more, because the original videos were all the first night the game came out, so a lot of us have learned things.
That is very true.
Make us, like, less mistakes.
I have actually played the least out of all of us, so it'll make things a lot more interesting, because I just haven't had time between recording the first one, and then having yesterday off, needing to take care of other things at home. So, it'll be, make for an interesting game this way. Anyway, I am pretty much ready to kick off whenever you guys are. At this point, I'm pretty much just maneuvering people around to different areas.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, well there you go. Go ahead and kick it off, and we are starting. Yeah, I just haven't set up all my, whatever you want to call it. I just haven't set up all my infantry and stuff, so...
Yeah, well, the way this game works, there's definitely that build-up period at the beginning, so it's not a real issue to... Once you get to all your researches and stuff like that, set up your focus.
how can I select multiple fleets, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, well.
It helps if you go to the Navy map mode instead of the infantry map mode.
Yeah, that's what I'm on currently. So we're just going to start setting up our... Oops, clicking the wrong thing. I keep forgetting right click and left click. All that stuff is not exactly as easy. Alright, so we will... That's a large fleet, so we will combine you guys. Oh, we can't, okay. So who is where? Let's actually put you over there. I think I broke the game. Interesting. Oh well. There we go. Now things are picking back up. That was just weird for a minute. Oh man, I have so many bases in here in the med. I did not realize that at all. That's kind of all I'm doing right now is messing with my fleets.
I know the feeling.
I was gonna say, how many fleets do you have?
Japan starts with, I think, around 185 ships.
Wow.
Mostly destroyers and light cruisers, but a fair number of battleships and carriers.
That's pretty significant, though.
Yep.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, this early.
God. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just speaking from probably a bigger navy here.
Well,
For now.
for now.
I don't think you'll be able to keep up.
Ooh,
Sure about that?
I hear that. I
just heard a challenge.
Yeah. How many naval dockyards do you have right now?
Right now I have 15 with another 15 in building.
I have 22 with probably about 30 queued up at the moment.
But once I take my buddy China,
Maybe 40 queued up right now. I'm not going to do the math.
The interesting thing with all these
We'll see.
fleets is it's
We'll
just...
see.
It's kind of a guessing game as to really where to put them. I'm just kind of
No,
selecting...
you just blockade Japan. There's
No,
only
well,
two
I mean,
sea
for
zones
me,
to
I just
blockade
basically...
Japan.
I basically just put all my stuff right around Germany, is all I did.
Well, you might want to keep it back near you initially, but
All my stuff is
just
basically...
remember, if it's all up at Germany, their Air Force can hit you while your Air Force can't hit them.
and
Ah.
Navy bombers are very
Very
strong.
good. Yeah, naval bombers. Which I thought I built some of those. I just have
Also, if
carrier
you look
ones.
at the naval map mode, is Cape Verde plain? Is that supposed to not have an E, or it's in between Brazil and Africa?
It's supposed to have an E.
Okay, wondering.
Mine does.
Is that
Oh,
Does it?
Cap Verde plane.
Alright, now that all that's
Yeah,
set up, I
yeah.
need to start moving troops
Like,
to
let's see what
the
happened.
to different areas. Put you guys over there. We'll worry about grouping people up later. In the meantime, we probably just want to get people on the borders, and then we'll group them up to create fronts to deal with people.
I was wondering where all my ships were. I forgot I left a whole pile of them in Taiwan.
Now, do you guys bother leaving anybody in, like, your interior, or no?
Only at victory points.
So you do leave people at the victory points.
I have some garrisoned around, yeah.
yeah?
So you actually
Because
have...
this game's all about taking victory points, and most of my victory points are actually in the northeast, which makes sense, because that's where most people lived during the 40s.
Gotcha. So do you actually group them all together in a front and then put
I
them in
have
garrison?
I have an American theater right now and a Pacific theater right now.
Oh, so you do have people selected and have them garrisoned, as opposed
Yeah,
to me
I
who
have.
will have to have a line.
I have an army of garrisons. We were doing stuff, but then again, I'm not expecting to fight as much on the homeland.
Gotcha.
Should probably rethink that idea.
You think you're gonna make it over here? We'll see. I'm not kidding about that of not being an Atlantic fleet this game.
Alright, we'll make you guys into the
You'll probably kill me, because you know how to cheat, but no. I'm just kidding.
French defense.
You will block me somehow this game, is what you do. Granted,
He's
if
good
you
at
own
that.
all of Southeast Asia, there's not much I can do, so we'll just have to see. But then again, I don't think the communists above you would like you owning everything back there and having that large a border. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
So, garrison, you just click on an area, or do you draw the line?
You click like states, it's no line, so you're clicking on states.
Can I do multiple states?
Yes, you just keep left clicking until you're done. And you escape. And it should change color on the map and show what all its garrison.
A nice little Wake Island out here.
Yeah, I'm not holding the islands.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't think there's but a few that are worth anything.
Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii's got a garrison, but everything else doesn't.
I'm starting to build up Marines already.
Feel free.
Japanese actually get pretty decent Marines.
Do they now?
Yeah, they do.
I plan on picking up Marines before too long, too.
Their Marines are their veteran troops, so they start out at veteran level.
Wow.
Or maybe not veteran level, I mean,
But they're the elite for terms of equipment.
yeah. They start at regular, sorry, but they are, yeah, elite equipment.
Which just means they get all their stuff first. They get priority over everything else.
Yep, and they
So
get
elites gain better resources?
There's no... It's
quicker?
just they get the resources first.
They get it first, gotcha.
yeah. So any new weaponry or anything like that, go to them. You can change that in your division designer also.
Where's the... Oh, it's just in the
Yeah,
template.
it's like the priority. So
Yeah, and it doesn't cost anything, which is nice.
Alright, well now I can create the Belgian front.
I just have destroyers living everywhere. I'm literally
Everywhere.
finding destroyers like out in the middle of the
Yeah.
of anywhere.
Man,
I'm in
are
the
they
same
literally
boat
just
trying to-
spread randomly?
Oh, I forgot about the Asiatic fleet. You were supposed to come home.
So we'll make you a new theater and we'll call you, Belgium. That's the thing, is you kind of just need to name your forces according to what front they're going to be sitting on.
Or you just put them into different theaters. That's another easy way to do it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing, is different theaters and
Oh.
naming them accordingly.
Okay.
Yep. When I was playing Germany, I actually went as far as to name every theater in German,
That's
Just-
a little intense, but we'll
which
take
was
it.
kind of difficult since I don't actually speak German. Or
Hey man,
Yeah.
it's called Google Translate.
Yep. But I know the countries, so
Yeah.
good enough.
My Atlantic fleet does not need to be called Destroyer Flotilla 3.
Destroyer Flotilla 3. I like it, man. I like it. Alright, and you guys become a new front. You'll be the... or new German... or what do you want to call it? Theater. So you Germany. Change your color to match. I kind of like to keep the colors matching. I know it's dumb, but... why not?
It makes you happy then. Huh?
Wait, how can you create gray? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, you just gotta play with the slider.
Screw it, they'll just be black. Yep, and you guys need a front line there. Yeah, I'm not bothering to draw a front line because it's easy enough just to click it and it'll give you the same result if it's a small front. Don't need to do too much work that way. Group you guys together and make you Italy. And you'll be green. Make your front this. There we go. All is now good. Send you out here. Alright, stop your mission. Merge you two together. And go back to your mission. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now we can go explore the world real quick. Mr. Japan is increasing naval production while the United States is working about the Monroe Doctrine. What is Mr. Soviet Union doing? Finishing the 5-year plan. Good call, fish. Whereas I'm working to get my, whatever you want to call it, back on track. My government type back on track. Initially, I had kind of done the industry first. Don't necessarily need to do that because the infrastructure isn't going to help if I don't have stuff built on it already. So I figured I might as well do government first, then worry about it. If that makes sense to you all.
Sorry, I'm setting carrier flight wing size. For some reason, the game default doesn't start you with full carriers.
Oh, I'm just wondering. I don't see much reason to bring close air support on my carriers.
I don't think there is there?
If you want to actually, like, use them against islands or land
Yeah,
units.
that's true.
Yeah, maybe I'll use that for now. Keep them over there.
And we'll just make you the African theater, all you guys. As to what you're going to do, I don't know. I guess we'll just garrison y'all.
Yeah, you definitely have any on carriers at the moment. I only have 3.
That's all I have, but I'm building. I have one that's about to be done. A Soryu class.
I think I have you on battleships, though.
Maybe. I got 9 with 1 about to be done.
Yeah, I've got 15.
How many, what you want to call them, do you guys have? The, shipyards.
We already,
Right now.
we already mentioned that. I've got 22 at the moment.
Gotcha.
24, I'm sorry, to have built.
6.
A whole 6.
They're mighty, though. Mighty strong, like Soviet.
But I do get long lance torpedoes, so
Oh, those are nice.
plus 100% range 2 torpedoes.
Yep.
3 ships in 1 fleet.
What I also get is really crappy political advisors.
Really?
Yep. 3 of them are the standard reformers. One's a silent workhorse, one's a compassionate gentleman, and a prince of terror. I get nothing else. No, no industrialist or anything like that.
Oh wow, I was not aware of the fact that I have a territory right next to Turkey with troops in it.
Yep.
But I do get good
Completely
theories.
forgot about that one.
Yes, you owned Syria at the time.
I was not aware of that. I didn't even know
You
Syria
also-
was a French colony.
Don't forget that you have Indochina, where Vietnam is.
Yep, and I
Yes,
also
you
have
do.
something up above Portugal. Or
You
not
have
Portugal,
some in
Brazil.
Africa. Yeah.
French Guiana, and you have the Caribbean, French Caribbean.
For all that rubber.
I do have the French Caribbean.
That's funny. Japan is on a line, so I could actually invite them to my faction.
All the things I'm not aware of, man.
For that matter.
That's why it's every good to look at the actual list of units to see if you missed anybody.
Yeah, how do you pull up the list of units?
The buttons under the clock, the leftmost one.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
You sort by army is how I generally do it, and at the bottom will be your garrisons. Like I missed one over in the islands.
Alright, so we'll rename you guys tanks. Now,
Okay.
how can I move a theater up and down? Is that possible in the list?
What do you mean, move an army from a theater?
No, the list of theaters, is there a way I can change the order?
Just rename and move them around. I don't know if you can move those boxes away. You can put them all in one theater and then rename it and then make a new one after deleting the old one.
Nah, not worth dealing with. We'll figure itself out. You, on the other hand, over here. Now I forget, what's the easy way to make a random unit join?
Um,
Control
It's the
left click on the
assigned-
line,
yeah.
What if it's not on a line?
right click on the shield.
Oh, yep, that's exactly how. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why I keep you around, man, for all these stupid questions that I should know better. Ah, the Rhineland. Well, I doubt that war breaks out. We will suffer a civil war due to just joining government. Well, communist supporters. We're just gonna have to take a diplomatic issue. And we're gonna immediately support the status quo to keep us going in the right direction for our government. And that's kind of the key thing, is just restore the government first, then deal with everything else. I could have attempted to press Germany for war, but again, I'm looking at a civil war if I do that, which is not a good thing. Gotta get rid of that disjointed government first. However, political power is slowly increasing in the right direction, so that's a big plus. Status quo is what I want, right? Yes. Because then I can either go with Britain or do the Little Entente, which, again, not exactly great, because you'll get Yugoslavia, Romania, and then Poland. So if I do it early enough, I can get Poland and me to bounce on Germany and see what happens.
You're not gonna get it
But
early
it's
enough.
no, it's not gonna be worth it, especially with Russia as a player. Now, in a single-player game, sure, all those, all the Little Entente or even the support the left or support the right might work out great. But in a multiplayer PvP game, I'm best off to go probably straight line with Britain, or if I really wanted to risk it, the other only strong PvP option would be all the way through join Germany. But that being said, again, it's not exactly an easy thing to do, or even easy to make happen, because there's a lot of stuff you gotta go through. And I already started with the support the status quo. So, in Yugoslavia and Romania, they're not gonna be too big, too great. So, we might as well just go with Britain to get their aid. If that makes sense to you all, that is. Oh, they weren't in the same location. Now they will be. Alright. Merge, you fleets, merge! Alright, and now go back to your mission. Yes, excellent. Alright, so everybody's off doing their things.
I bumped it up when we were on 2 speed while everybody was getting set up for the first couple months.
I think that's alright for now since we're just doing the opening.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much set. We're at 25 minutes, so we'll keep going for another 5 to 10. Like I said in the first video that we, again, the problem is I don't remember what we've discussed, because we recorded for like 3-4 hours, so don't remember exactly what we discussed then, so we'll try and cover the majority of stuff as I do it, just so that way I talk through what I'm doing, people can see what I'm doing, and it makes sense. So, as we saw, I already selected the research I wanted, one's about to end. I went through my construction, I created some military factories first, before I started doing civilian factories, because I need to get my military back up and running, and the only way to do so is with more military factories, because I need to start selecting more and more stuff here. Infantry equipment should be #1 priority, and then probably towed artillery, and then light tanks perhaps. I mean, I really need to start fleshing out my capacity to build stuff first before I worry about too much. And then I started training some other guys just to at least get them ready. They're not going to really deploy anytime soon, but still helps. And then you can see my logistics. I'm building a surplus of things. It's just currently I'm at a negative storage of them. So there we go. My first thing's completed in researching. Might as well get the next one running to help kill off research time. And let those two finish off. They'll help a lot as well. And we should be good to go at that point. Alright, so Stalin Constitution. Good call. Getting yourself political power. So you did 5-year plan. Imagine you're either going to do armament next. What do you think about going next, Fish? Or do you have that planned out yet?
Armament.
Armament?
Probably because of the military factory, but I want the political power just to tweak my laws a little bit.
Yeah, that does help a lot. United States is working on securing all its spheres of influence, for lack of better terms. So he's going to go through probably all of these, all 4 of those, to try and make the Pax America. To allow him to really get a lot of... What does that allow you to do? It allows you to basically get a lot of allies and trade going around.
It pretty much means South America stays democratic, but it gives me a bunch of political power too, which I can't generate right now because of the Great Depression. Each one of those things on that tier, all the different spheres, give me
Alright,
150
my
political
workers
power.
are on strike, by the way, so that's going to suck. But anyway, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What did you say?
No, it's just giving me political power, because I can't get any because of the Great Depression.
Gotcha. So the only way you
There's-
can gain power is through those doctrines.
Yes, or not doing a national focus, but it's generally worth doing the national focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, this first one I achieve, I'll be getting the backroom dealer guy or the silent workhorse, I think is the modifier, who gives me some free power. It's the only way for me to get it initially.
And then we have Japan working on spiritual mobilization. What is that's going to work out for you, and what is your game plan on going, Zoro?
That pretty much opens up the tree to build the Japanese war machine, excuse me. And I get more recruitable population right off the bat, another 2.5% just from this focus.
Gotcha. Excellent. So you're going to work your way down the military path?
That's a mix, but getting this one, it allows me to hit the extra research slot real early.
Gotcha. Yeah, that will help. Do your student movement and then that. Makes sense.
Yep.
Alright. So, communists in the government. Well, they want to have happen. So, I guess a coalition of democratic parties is preferable. Oh yeah. We are now really hurting for national unity, but did you guys get that alert saying that we signed a not anti-communist pact, but democratic pact?
Nope.
No.
Ah,
I
interesting.
think that's just an internal one.
Okay. I had that happen in my single-player game as Russia, that France and Britain announced they were turning to, what's it called? To democracy fully.
It's probably a result of those decisions you've been doing for your events.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Soon I can afford somebody. Soon. Question will be, what is the best idea? Democratic reformer? Silent Workhorse. Silent Workhorse is nice.
Yeah.
Backroom Dealer. Or War Industrious. Ooh. That does help having the... Well, it's tough. There's a lot of good options to get right off the bat. I'm not exactly sure what I want first. It's a lot of good options, to be honest. Political power by 5. And ideal drift. There's a lot of good ones. I don't know. What do you guys usually take first in terms of your, with your first 150 political power?
The political power increase guy, if you have him.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Silent Workhorse?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get one, but I want one.
What's that get you? 0.15 more?
Yeah, but that adds up. 0.3 the entire game is worth more than later.
That is a good point.
That's actually what I'm just picking up right now.
Alright, and I definitely went dispersed industry. I don't know if we covered that in the last one, but basically, concentrated versus dispersed depends on where you are. For example,
other thing, go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, for example, if you do concentrated, you're getting a higher output, but your buildings are much more likely to be damaged during war. So if you're on a frontline country, it's going to hurt you. If you're on a, country that won't get invaded much, concentrated industry is great. But for me, since I'm going to be on a front line, dispersed is where I want, so that way I take less damage to my industry as we go.
It also allows you to be more flexible. You lose less efficiency when you switch.
But the thing actually, talking about the choosing advisors, fascist and communist nations probably want to change their mobilization to war for their economy first.
Oh yeah, that's what I think.
Before you pick advisors, because that gives you more output from your factories. And maybe their conscription law, depending on how much men they have.
Agreed, and that's something that only fascists and communists can do right away. As Democratic, currently I do not have that option across the board. It's just strictly civilian economy currently. And as for anything else, I could do volunteer only instead of limited conscription, but it would hurt me to move down to that actually in terms of my recruitable population. Limited isn't bad. I wouldn't go extensive or anything else, but it's not bad. Alright, so where are we in terms of time? We're still good with time. We're just working up our output here, slowly spreading it so that way we can catch up in terms of our military weapon deficit that we're down by 2,500, or 25,000 rather. And just slowly work our way up. That's all we can do. So we'll actually build some there. There.
Everybody do jumping jacks.
Training all your troops.
Yep.
It's nice
You
to
start
have
with
that ability.
That Mexican border, I mean, it's scary.
You must protect it.
I'm not going to build a wall. We're not that scared, but
Yeah,
we must
I got
protect it.
Now don't forget, for everybody else, that all these well, we do have it set on historical, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So all these nations in South America and stuff, if they really wanted to, could all switch to fascism if Germany played their cards right. They could switch to communism. They could attack each other and swallow each other. There's different options that could happen with all those countries. Especially, like, an alternative option for playing one of the main countries is Brazil is a very strong option. And you can really do some damage as Brazil.
Yeah, because they get away by being in South America. Normally, America is protecting all the South American powers, but Brazil is also one of those. So you can't go to war with somebody you're guaranteeing, so they can do whatever they want down in South America, pretty much.
And there is the Spanish Civil War. So we will actually pause it there. We'll cut here for this episode, and we'll resume and see how the Civil War works out. Hopefully it doesn't take all the way until World War II, like, what was it, Fish, you said that happened to you?
It was actually disgruntled.
Oh, was you disgruntled?
Yeah, the Spanish Civil War ended in 1940 in one of my games.
Wow, that's intense. Alright, so we're going to cut here. Thank you everybody for coming out to this episode of our Let's Play of Hearts of Iron 4, and we will be right back.